If you're watching the video, John Hastings, it is 1:10 in the morning in Australia, and he is
That's
still
right.
up, committed to this new fucking bullshit podcast, baby.
Yeah,
I am
that's
Dylan
right.
Gott.
I am John. I regret agreeing to do this, Hastings, and I fucking do or die for the blog. Ladies and gentlemen, this is John and Dylan online, bitch.
Yes, and this week we will be talking about Ebaumsworld, or should I
Correct.
say, basically skirting around the issue of Ebaumsworld, and also like moving forward in this show. There's so little like such a hard way to tell when something actually happens because it's not like, and then Nikola Tesla invented the fleshlight. It's like a bunch of people invented the fleshlight on Reddit.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. It's like people invented diarrhea, and it's not one guy invented diarrhea. 8 people at the same time were like, what if shit was liquid and it shot out of your ass with a viscous force? And people were like, you had me at viscous.
Yeah, exactly. For those of you new to the show, obviously you're thinking diarrhea invented by someone, and also Tesla the fleshlight. These guys know their shit.
Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. I didn't realize I was talking to two Rhodes scholars spelled Roads because we went to the school of hard fucking knocks, bro.
This
We
show,
got
I
big
think,
dicks.
our first episode was about something that was actually like something that happened in society, and I guess there is a certain amount of nuance to it. This show will just be about a dumb website, and there's
I
only
mean,
so much
it's
quote unquote history you can go into about Ebaumsworld, so some of it
correct. I
legit
also
will
just want
be
to say
just
this.
watching videos.
Pardon me. I just want to say this also about this dumb website. It's a dumb website that, much like the Pixies or Iggy Pop, not that important in the moment, but spawned an absolute generation of madness. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Ebaum's World, somewhat significant, but really a small sliver of the population. And like people saw E-Bombs World and they were like, what if that was the White House? And then it's like, welcome to hell, baby. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like the thing is like E-Bombs World is the ripple in the river, baby. Or the lake. There's no ripples in rivers. There's a current. I'm so tired. Go ahead,
No, it's
Dylan.
okay. No, I mean we opened the episode by saying the fleshlight was invented by Nikola Tesla, so I don't think people are gonna be like, lakes don't have ripples. I'm fucking turning this off.
I want to start this episode where all things start, and that is in the sack of a man. Let's talk about Neil Bauman, the father of Eric, the creator of Ebaum's World, a man with the most arrogantly worded website I have read in quite some time.
God damn it, I love that man. So Neil
Let's talk
Bauman,
about this
who's
guy.
now in his 80s, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know who this guy is. He either loves Bernie Sanders or he loves Ron DeSantis. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there is one side or the t'other. Either way, you're like, oh God, let's not talk about politics with this motherfucker. That you know what I mean?
Well,
Long
we should
hair,
read
but
the
he's
fucking.
bald.
We should
Just
fucking
read, just take a random paragraph from that website. So he has a website detailing how he helped his son take a small comedy website and then sell it for profit at the height of the market, which newsflash is what they did. Essentially, I assume, very hard to talk to man named Eric created a website. That website blossomed into madness because people like me were in university or college, and we're not having a lot of sex, so needed to do other
people
things with
who were
our
having
Saturday
sex
nights.
also were on Ebaumsworld.
Correct. I'm just saying why I was on Ebaum's World. This is not a judgment of everyone else. I'm letting them know why I was there.
I'm just trying to like, because the whole thing about like, yeah, these nerds that don't get laid, which is addressed in Mr. Bellman's letter to YTMD,
It really
which is
is.
crazy. Like, part of this is so funny. So basically, I couldn't find any interviews with Eric Ballman. If you
He's
can
gone.
find,
He has disappeared from the internet. The only thing you can find is a Twitter
what a
account
great
for
man.
E-Bombs World TV,
Yes, because he was gonna
which
do. Yes,
he probably he spite created when he was fired from E-Bombs World after he sold it for a cockload of money.
but like, there's so many things to kind of talk about where it's like Ebaumsworld becomes one of the most popular websites on the internet. I think it peaks at number 5, and it's literally just this is my favorite thing that Ebaumsworld does is that now you think about an idea, a creative idea, and they're just stolen. Like one
Yeah.
of our friends came up with this sketch where it's a TikTok, and it's one of those perfect TikTok ideas where he's listening. So the idea is a millennial listening to music from when you were a kid, and it's like him listening to what the fuck is that? Third Eye Blind, and then he's like, whoa, and then he realizes that album's just about how he's a meth addict, and that's the sketch. And then it spawned people just doing that exact thing, but getting more hits than him because they were already established users, and that's just okay now. But Ebaumsworld will do that. But the thing where they fucked up is they would take a meme from another website and then just put the Ebaumsworld signature on it and be like, this was like basically being like, Eric did it.
Yeah, they basically Ebaumsworld created the weirdest, most annoying feature of the internet from about 2006 to I'm going to say 2010, which is the unnecessary watermarking of websites. If you liked the radio show Opie and Anthony, all of their videos for about 6 years were watermarked with their producer's
Yes.
band's logo. And that's true of a variety of things. Or you'd get an audio tag if someone edited something but didn't pay the money for the editing software. Just like every 5 minutes, it would go like Editortron, and then just
Yeah.
continue with the video. And Ebaumsworld was a real feature of that because you would see re-uploaded Ebaumsworld videos other places with the Ebaumsworld logo on it, making you constantly think everything that had to do with weird, grainy Windows Media Player videos had to trace back to Ebaumsworld when really it was coming from the far more dirty you're the man now dog.com.
Yeah, but this is like You're
Okay,
the Man
yes,
Now
okay.
Dog is just like it was for a long time. It was just one of those classic websites online where it was just a picture of something,
Okay, yeah. So it's
which
a
is
very
sick.
interesting sort of time for the internet. And this is actually a good way to sort of start it because we can start with the sort of beginnings of Ebaumsworld, which is the early sort of when I first remember hearing about it is very late stage high school into university. So we're talking 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. And Ebaumsworld and You're the Man Now Dog, which is from this weird ass movie with Sean Connery says that to a black guy, I believe is the Finding Forrester. Is that what the movie is?
Yes, it's classic fucking internet. These are two classically early 2000s internet websites where You're the Man Now Dog is a reference to a movie, is a stupid part in a dumb movie.
No. You're missing that was just drilled into our head by weird commercials because you'd get weird movies that were blocked for like weird daytime loops
Yes,
places. So if you're watching TV at 3 p.m., you'd get 8 You're the Man Now Dog fucking things. And then
yeah.
just an ass went, I know what is funny. And let me say this right now. When I found out what You're the Man Now Dog stood for, I immediately got a smile on my face. I'm like, good to see it's back. It made it. We did it, guys. Millennials rule.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. It was like a very internet. And then E-Bombs World is literally, I'm Eric Ballman, and here's some fun stuff I thought of.
Yeah.
Like
And
everything now is so calculated. Like everything is like
if,
talking about synergy. I'm just fresh off watching the first episode 1 of the show Succession in season 4, and they're trying to come up with a website, and they're just trying to think of the most synergistic name for their new website, and all these bullshit words and shit, and like that was around back then, but just not nearly
yeah,
as
we didn't get,
much.
we weren't, it's, this sounds weird, but in the strapping for some real economic, interesting theories. But as America more and more got banking as its major industry, corporations merged into larger and larger corporations, creating the corporate monopoly we now have that didn't exist at that point, meaning things are more individual on the internet then. So it was very interesting for Eric to actually brand himself with his name as opposed to You're the Man Now Dog that will always be anonymous. Do you see what I'm saying? So it always had
Yeah.
that, it had that snark factor right away as a, here's the interesting thing about it. It was
Giving naming a
the
website after your own nickname though is it's very telling about like who those
ex-
people were.
I'm trying to get to the emotion. I remember looking at Ebaumsworld when I was 15, and it was like the first time where it felt like if someone was playing with matches, the website. And like I remember looking at You're the Man Now Dog didn't feel as dangerous. Do you know what I'm saying? Ebaumsworld, you looked at it and you're like, what in the name of fuck is this? Like like it was snarky in the tone, all of that sort of stuff. It just drew you in. Was I alone on this?
I mean, honestly, the first thing I saw in Ebaumsworld, I think I mentioned this, but was
Oh yes.
a guy committing suicide, and then just it cut to a bunch of
How
people
did you find that? Because
putting things.
I immediately went to the soundboards. I want to talk about this. Like I was told you
Oh,
could
we could talk
hear
about the soundboards, yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger talk. I just don't know how you immediately were like, before I get there, I'm just gonna click on this video, which is the description doesn't seem horrific in any
Oh,
way.
I didn't click on a video. It was like shock factor for in class. He
Oh
was like, check
God.
this out, and then it was like, I was like, that's pretty funny. I don't know.
I think I remember seeing
Because
You're
it
the
doesn't
Man
look
Now.
real. Like it sounds fucked up, but like watching someone die looks less when they actually die looks less real than on a movie.
I disagree.
Because you just kind of see them like slump, and you're like,
I
oh, they're
accidentally
dead.
watched the guy who shoots himself at the press conference video.
That's sick.
That oh boy, that video is so much more real than anything you've ever seen. Like you see someone like the fear in their own eyes knowing what they're about to do, and you're like, well, that's something that I just know
Okay.
about.
Okay. So you've seen that, right? When did you see that?
So that in 2016, big
Okay,
year for me.
that 2016. So you're in your 30s. This is what here's what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, you were.
We both watched wrestling as teenagers. By the time before I had watched this guy commit suicide, I had watched like death matches where one time a guy got cut
Gotcha.
and it's like it hit his artery, and then he figured, oh, because wrestlers are fucking morons. So he was like, rather than get immediate help, I'm just gonna squeeze my arm and it'll shoot blood, and he just drank his own blood.
Oh, I
And I
thought you were
saw
going to
that before
reference.
I saw a guy just if someone gets shot in the head, they just kind of slump to the ground. Whereas this guy's like basically, and this was even before Twitter, he's like, ooh, I want people to notice this.
That's so funny. Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, by wrestling's weird
Not
fakeness
like
and
I'm gonna get
showmanship.
followers. I hope someone remembers this.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about Japanese death matches in the mid 90s. It was like this famous man. It was like this guy who borrowed money to get here just took a chainsaw to Terry Funk.
Exactly. But
Um,
Neil Bowman does, I think, one of the smarter things, which is
Go ahead.
his son creates basically a forum where people can share images, and
Yeah,
then
his son
Neil
creates the
Bauman,
Tucker Max of websites, and then Neil
perfect,
Bauman,
who's a financial advisor,
of
comes in
course,
and
he
goes, these
is.
little fucking masturbators are making a bunch of shit. Why don't we put our name on it? Because they're just little masturbators and they don't have any fucking recourse to do shit.
I'm
And
going to say
my
this right
favorite
now.
thing, yeah.
This is how the millennials and baby boomers should work together. These are our skills. Millennials, we're the idea people. How about this? We'll charge $7 for coffee. No one will question it. Deal. And then the baby boomers, they come over top to cover like the legal and get us out like safe. You see what I'm saying?
I hate this this man. Man's one
Neil
of like because he
Neil
poorly does
Bauman.
it, but he is one of the first people to just be like, "Oh, I'm just going to exploit." Because it's
Oh yeah. Oh
Dually, because they
yeah.
sell it for $15 million, which Dually is a lot of money. They sell like 2008, 2009, but now this would literally be like, we're going to take Ebaumsworld and we're going to make it a $2 billion consortium because there's no reason Ebaumsworld can also get into building towers or whatever.
Yeah, Ebaumsworld now. If Ebaumsworld had stayed under Eric Bauman, first of all, the Trump presidency would have started in
That would have been sick.
2009.
That would have been sick.
Like, yeah, he would have been so
No,
much like,
it would have been Nancy Grace.
oh my, President
Remember
Nancy
Nancy
Grace.
Grace? Nancy Grace was
Uh,
on Jeopardy and she was winning and she got a question wrong and she corrected Alex Trebek. She's like, "Well, that was right. I just picked the wrong context." And he was like, "Okay." Like,
there is a interview where Nancy Grace walks off when they literally ask her sometimes you did some like shocking journalism. She's like, I do not like your characterization. And he was like, it was not a characterization. It's something you did. There's a difference. And she storms off in the most, how do I say this? Person who's never been wronged, but is doing an impression of wronged persons I've ever seen. I love Nancy Grace. She's my favorite person to hate after Neil Bauman. I thought you loved Neil Bauman, or was that a fun, sarcastic jape, and it turns out you hate him.
That is it was some of my classic patented
Nice.
sarcasm, John.
You fucking
John,
zinged me.
listen, there's a lot. Basically, we're going to talk about the YTMD Ebaumsworld thing in a second, but right now I'm going to do some fun stuff. What I'm going to do is share screen.
Oh my God.
And share sound.
While
And,
Dylan's working on that, here's what I'm just going to say. Neil Bowlman is a piece of shit baby boomer. That said, how successful. By the way, they would have had a lot more money, but they got fired by the parent company because it was initially 15 million and then plus like a bunch of other money based on revenue, which of course they never got because his son fucked it up somehow.
But
oh
like,
my God.
By the time that Ebaumsworld is sold, it's clearly on the way down. And you're also doing this before Mark Zuckerberg, which was my first Edinburgh with lovely John. Was Mark Zuckerberg ruined the content industry because which is so funny. Remember, Facebook just lied about how many views you were getting on Facebook video, and everyone stopped uploading shit to every single website because they lied. And
that's right.
They were like, and they corrupted. They basically they destroyed Funny or Die, Cracked, and all these other websites in like 3 weeks because everyone was like, why would I upload a video to Funny or Die? Just by like breathing on Facebook, I get 5,000 views. So which you could still see. Like, I think I still have a video of me doing the stand in Glasgow that has like 100 likes, but for some reason, like 30,000 views was just a lie. Let's listen to, this is one of the classic Ebaumsworld videos here. This is like one of the first ones I saw. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this.
Oh my God, I feel so good. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Oh yeah. Who's your daddy?
Are you hearing?
Who's your daddy? Oh my God. Oh yeah, play with my balls. Play with my balls.
I think my favorite is the canned laughter in the background. At first, almost sounds real.
So that was one of the first ones. Donald Duck getting a BJ. I couldn't hear it, so I hope you could.
You couldn't hear it?
No, but whatever. It doesn't matter. I know what a fucking duck getting a blowjob sounds like.
That's even crazier that you... Whoa. Received or watched? Wait, gave or watched?
Both.
Whoa.
So, and I also wanted to talk about these, which I rewatched, which are the G.I. Joe. Remember the G.I. Joe?
So this is, yes, of course I do. This is one of the many things that Ebaumsworld. So Ebaumsworld, basically what it was sort of a version of YouTube. It was a message board with mostly it was a forum, and there were a bunch of areas where you could put videos. There was the shock of the day. There was a snarky message up front. You'd get actual communication from Eric Baumann. And one of the things they put up was a G.I. Joe parody that Hasbro like so quickly sued. And here's the thing with this guy is he basically invented with how Silicon Valley companies dealt with lawsuits, which is they kind of just ignore problems until they're so big. They either destroy them or they're so big that no problem can actually destroy them. And with Ebaumsworld, what happened was he had to sell because there were so many lawsuits, one of which was Hasbro was like, you have to take down this video of our G.I. Joes behaving inappropriately. We're Hasbro, bro.
But also it should be mentioned that like everything else on the internet, yeah, you can sue over that thing, and then someone will just, it's already been saved. As soon as someone likes something, they save it, and it's going to be re-uploaded under different accounts for the rest of time.
And that was the thing that also came down to it. Also, it was the idea that, according to Eric Baumann, it was all fair use, which I think it turned out the soundboards kind of were, and I don't think the G.I. Joe was. Oh, these are fucking great.
Hey!
So
you're not my friend.
Here's the thing about these. They are definitely made at a time when Family Guy is funny. Because, like, I remember this last one.
Yeah.
I'll skip to the last one.
I'm just kidding with you.
The whole
hey, man,
joke
that
is
weird dude
that
you're talking to,
the
bro.
guy just
My friends are here.
for
Oh,
like
cool.
20
See you later.
minutes.
Oh, also that Oh, this was everywhere.
Right, Billy, I'm back and I want you.
This was fucking
I'm not gonna play. Why not that guy?
Goes to
Because
show
I already
how
had
funny
him.
it is.
That's right,
Like,
kids. I already
watch this,
had
and I
him.
just remember.
I don't think so.
pretending-
Hey, come here and... Yeah, okay, I'll play.
I couldn't hear what you said.
One,
I was engrossed in the G.I.
two.
Joe.
3.
Everywhere. That was just a meme.
Yeah, this is definitely
great.
Family
Oh my
Guy
God.
influence. But I mean, to sound like a real fucking loser, but it's like
Go
people
ahead.
just made those videos and people liked them, and then that was the end goal. Like that was it.
Yeah.
Hey, someone liked
Yeah.
my videos. I made no money off of it.
Oh my God, the amount of times you saw that very first one that Dylan was talking about with the guy with the mustache just going, oh my God, constantly.
Yeah,
But
you
that's
saw
a
that
really good
concept-
point. Can I say that's such a great point, Dylan, that Ebaumsworld was for the artists. It's not when trolls were accusing governors of being pedophiles. It was just when they were just taking down Scientology because they wanted to. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you get a glimpse into what trolls are gonna be like because we get the YTMD versus Ebaumsworld, which basically
baby.
everyone's
I can't
freely
believe-
sharing fucking memes and videos and whatever. Ebaumsworld comes up with the watermark we talked about.
Okay, yeah. Can we say, when you say freely share, as soon as they introduce that watermark, that is like the amount of videos I'm now thinking about that just have that fucking yellow ass logo in the middle of it just drive me insane. Continue.
And then you get basically a bunch of people posting on YTMD who are fucking pissed at Ebaumsworld. The guy who runs YTMD saying, please stop threatening the people at Ebaumsworld. And then you get this. Allow me to stop for a
Introduce
second because
myself.
I have to read this letter.
Go
that
ahead.
Basically, after all these people are threatening, classic shit. Like now it's classic shit to be like, threaten the people who are mad at you with killing them and just release their address online and shit. But that wasn't a thing back then.
What you're saying is we're seeing the blueprint be written. They're literally like, okay, could we just take this criticism? No.
Abso-fucking-lutely not. So I'm going to
Please
try
read
and
the letter.
find this letter. One second.
Okay. Well, Dylan reads this letter. I think the first time I saw You're the Man Now, Dude, or Ebaumsworld, I have a vivid memory of looking at like some naughty comedy website when we were in computer class in grade 9. And I specifically remember this because I was doing it to try and impress a lady I had a crush on, who then, along with her family, ripped off a bunch of students for stuff and money. And I always have associated her with these types of websites, and it's been a real thrill to relive it, Dylan. I wanted you to know that.
Here's part of the letter. I'm gonna try and pick out fun parts because it is mostly a 55-year-old man calling.
By the way, there is nothing more shaking of the finger. This is a bad idea to have even started this scolding than someone writing a letter to people on a forum on the internet. Like, you might as well cut your carotid artery and get in the pool with a shark, you fucking idiot. But go ahead.
No, this is from Neil at Ebaumsworld. So it's Eric Bauman's dad's email account directly to legal@YTMD. Subject, cease and desist. Tuesday, January 10th, 2006. Please be advised that several of your forum soldiers have decided to personally visit our corporate offices. The pictures they took while trespassing on our property were proudly posted on your site. In addition to some of the postings on your forum literally threatened murdering Eric Bauman, you have now officially crossed the line. And then he says he's notified FBI cyber terrorism. Some good stuff here.
Oh, the best.
I realize that most of your entire website is comprised of pathetic, pimply-faced, maladjusted preteens whose parents don't love them, and their best date on a Saturday night takes AA batteries, which is pretty good because that's like everyone uses dildos, I guess, or CD players. I think he thinks they're all all of your fucking people on your forum beat off into CD players. They fucking beat off onto their Korn albums and then shut it, ruining their Korn albums.
Here's the one thing I fucking know about the nerds on that fucking website, and that is they jack off with dildos in their ass, and then they jizz on Korn albums, ruining the Korn albums. Put it in the letter.
It's so
Put it in the
long.
letter.
Anyway, I am confident that no one possesses the aforementioned skills necessary to pull that off. Sorry, that was out of context. The first guy you sent here probably soiled his pants when he couldn't answer the simplest question and literally ran out the door. LOL.
He didn't write soiled his pants.
Yes, he did. I don't
He
think
didn't write
he
LOL.
is a
He
candidate
didn't
for
write
Mission
LOL.
Impossible. He did. He wrote LOL all caps.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
This is fucking sick. This is perfect. This guy actually is born. I think this guy's born in 1940. So I think he's before baby boomer.
So this guy shared. Yeah, he shared air with Hitler. And
shared air with Hitler.
And is scolding people on the internet. Can I just say that all other trolls versus these people are a imitation of, I assume, the internet versus Neil Bauman. And what I'm about to hear about, I didn't get to this in our readings. Oh my God, what a beautiful thing to hear. LOL. The fact that he wrote LOL in what must have been 2007, he deserves to have poo in his. Oh my God. Probably was watching an episode of Californication while he was sending this email.
That's good stuff. That was a terrible show. So they say, I'm paraphrasing here, but the FBI likened your forums to terrorists who always stay underground. Is that the way you envisioned your forum at its inception? How pathetic. I look forward to your reply. So this is like, if you wrote this 6-paragraph email to someone because a couple guys on Twitter were like, go fuck yourself. I'm not saying that's not important, but like that is literally the reaction, which is such a like not he just doesn't understand how the internet works. Once again, this is now at 17 years ago at this point.
Do you think his son was like, Dad, do not send this email? Or do you think his son had no idea?
I think there's a weird where you would assume that the dad and the son, like if this website happens and you call a website Ebaumsworld, you would assume that the son is the one who's like brash. But like most of the shit you can find online is just about Neil. Like Eric Bauman seemingly got out. Once again, if he didn't, please let us know.
Eric Bauman really
or at John Hastings on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. But like it seems like Eric Bauman was like, bunch of people posted some memes. I got my money, I'm out. And his dad was like, here's why I'm a cyber genius.
Yeah. Basically, Eric Bauman was like, I can see where this is going and I will be being quiet for the rest of my life. And his dad was like, I will be doing the opposite of my son. And I would like to let all of you rude boys on the internet know that when I find your parents, they will be receiving a transcript of what you've written on the internet.
John, where were you when you first saw the Numa guy?
I was in college. I was in, I think, my apartment by the Loyola campus at Concordia University. And it was stuck in my head. I believe I was super baked. And I had just watched for a period of time on YouTube. You could just get every Comedy Central Presents because someone just put them all on. Yes. YouTube used to be, hey, do you want all of Cheers? Just type in Cheers lowercase. That's is all there.
There was like a good 6 months where it was like no one figured out. People just didn't figure out all of television was on YouTube.
Basically what it was they were so busy getting rid of the porn that they were like, listen, we just got to concentrate. Because that was apparently what set YouTube aside from all other video websites, is they were the only ones that were like, get the porn out of here, man. You got to get it out of here.
Oh yeah. YouTube was great, but
I would say it was around that time.
Okay, Numa guy, I remember seeing him and it was like, this is going to be bad for business because the guy just looked too much like me. I was like, this is not going to be good. And for sure it was like frat boys trying to fight me at bars went up 16,000%. Like I remember specifically going, like just having a beer one time, and some guy was like, "Say Numa into the phone," and then I like threw his phone down. He's like, "What the fuck did you do?" And I was like, "Threw your phone down," and then I left because he was like looking for his friends to like then fight me. But I was like, I got about fucking 2 seconds to get out of here, and I did.
This is something you guys all need to know about Dylan Gott, which is inside of him is the rage equivalent to the burning heat of 1,000 suns, and when it comes out, it's very small, but it is decisive and swift. Like it is a slamming of the phone and then a calm, That's what I did, bitch.
But also, this is 2005, 2006. So by throwing his phone on the ground, I haven't damaged anything.
Yeah, it's a
these
Nokia.
phones, you could literally use these phones as bullets to kill someone. That's how sturdy those flip phones were.
I used to routinely drop it while cycling, and it would like roll down hills, and I would just be like, God damn it. And then be fine.
Yeah, buddy. They would last for 9 days. You charged it to last for 9 days. One time I got drunk and just to prove how tough my phone was, threw it off a bridge and the back popped out, but I found it. It was dumb.
Yeah.
It took me a long time, but I found it.
Of course. Oh my God, drinking. The amount of, let me say this. The fact that I only have 2 broken elbows and 1 broken shoulder from biking, from the amount of cell phone use I did while cycling in the city of Montreal, which is known for construction everywhere, is truly mythical.
Okay, we're gonna take a break now and then
Break me.
wrap it up, baby. Welcome
Dylan.
back. Fuck shit. Go for it, John.
Oh, fuck. I'm fucking back. We are talking about the Von Dutch hat of websites. That's right. The year is 2007. Paris Hilton hasn't even fucked on tape yet. I actually don't think that's true. I think she has. I think she'd already done that by 2007. We're talking about
I assume so. Sure, I don't know. That's we'll do one of those. We'll do sex tapes. That's gonna be a fucking nice one.
Oh,
that'll be fucking
hot.
Yeah, that'll be comparison with our no fap episode.
Juicy. Where did I see the Paris Hilton sex tape? I watched it with 5 other fully clothed men in an apartment. We watched the full first scene, and I was like, "This is weird." And then we drove across the river, and then bought beer in Quebec.
Yeah, then you all jacked off to it at another time.
Of course. And then we went home after one quickly drank beer so that no one could prove what we were about to do. And then all individually whacked off in our hymns.
Yeah, they were sued by a bunch of people. They were sued by the Church of Scientology, Sega, Scholastic, Pez. They had some Pez dispensers that were like fucking. There was like a Hitler and Charles Manson Pez dispenser meme on their site. So then they got sued for that, which is like crazy that there's that little people putting shit online that they could specifically sue people for stuff. Like, can you imagine just getting sued?
So good.
Can you imagine if you ran, sorry, but like if you were involved with the movie The Great Gatsby that Leonardo DiCaprio was in and you just had to sue over every single time that that scene from that movie was used in like a fucking misogynist meme or whatever. Or the same thing with the fucking American Psycho movie where every single men's rights thing uses Christian Bale in that movie as like a cool guy.
Yeah, he seemed like a reasonable person who did what he liked to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's my question. I don't know if America had the law it has now, which is a website is not responsible for what their users publish on that website. So how 8chan, 4chan, YouTube, all of those things continue to be able to operate is there's a law in America which says just because you own Facebook, you're not responsible for what Dylan Gott writes on Facebook. I don't know if that law existed at the time of these lawsuits for our man Eric Bowell. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe look that up right now because I think that it's existed for a long time. Like I think that's existed since the 90s.
It has to have existed since the 90s, but I'm just saying then how did these people have all these websites, like all these lawsuits couldn't he have immediately been like, wasn't me, it was this guy? Oh no, he couldn't have, because I guarantee they watermarked all of them with fucking Ebaumsworld. That's why they were able to sue them.
That's probably the bad end of the YTMD, yes.
I guarantee that's exactly
this is
what
an official
happened.
Ebaumsworld anti-Semitic joke.
Yeah. So you're telling me that you had nothing to do with this video that bears the logo of your company? That is correct. The internet is not something you can understand, sir.
Oh yes. So Ebaumsworld, of course. Right now it is sold to an Israeli company that also runs crack.com. You can use Ebaumsworld now, but it's just a bunch of fucking top 10 lists and clickbait mostly.
Yeah, it's
ads.
It's your classic website you get referred to every once in a great blue moon. You're on CNN.com or a news website, or and you make the mistake of clicking on the ads on any news website. Like, I really like the journalism The Guardian does, but if you went by the ads that the Guardian.com get you, you'd be like, this is the worst company in the entire world. They're advertising insoles, and I think they're just advertising pills that can make it so I can grow a river. There is no way these are good journalists.
So it was officially sold. Ebaumsworld was in August 2007. It was acquired by Handheld Entertainment,
Stacks.
and it was 15 million up front, 2.5 million in handheld stock, and up to 52.5 million in cash and stock over 3 years, which is like, bro, you paid. Is that as bad a deal as Rupert Murdoch acquiring MySpace?
No, MySpace was so much worse. MySpace
Was great because it was like everyone
galactically
knew.
worse.
You could have just asked anyone in their 20s and they would have been like, why the fuck are you buying MySpace?
Oh, it was the best. The only you do know that Tom's now just a nature photographer in Northern California, and I want to eat his asshole. It's the best.
He created it and then he left? Because he
He just
created
was-
like all of the bad parts of social media. Like people have
That's
this
right. And
great
I only
view of
focus on the nice
MySpace.
part. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I have stand-up material about this. People think of MySpace as the good social media. Oh, the place you rank to your friends.
Yeah.
And even Facebook goes, which one? Pick which one is your favorite, bitch.
I guess you're out of my top 8.
Yeah, you're out of my top 8. Dylan was always in my top 8, and we weren't even friends then.
I mean, all my top 8 weren't my friends. I just picked celebrities because I was like, I'm not gonna fucking rank my friends.
Sidebar, and we'll
Kidding,
save most
I
of these
did.
stories for our MySpace episode. But my favorite moment ever in my life was watching one comedian say to another one as advice, do you want to know how you get ahead in this business? Maybe if your top 8 MySpace friends weren't porn stars, man.
I mean, yeah, that is a weird thing to be top 8 MySpace is like, check it out. I rubbed my fucking dick lots.
Let me let you know, as soon as this podcast is over, I will reveal those names to Dylan, and Dylan is going to do this. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Dylan Gott. That's who it was.
Yeah. Dylan got talking to himself.
Ebaumsworld is now operated by Literally Media, which owns Cheeseburger, Know Your Meme, and Cracked.com.
These were all companies and websites that were very, very vital at one point between the years 2003 and 2012. The true original millennial golden age of the internet, as far as I'm concerned, where you had to explain memes that made no sense. They were weird political activism things that, like, at the time seemed so revolutionary. And in the end, it was like, well, we took down Scientology and then created a new version of fascism that's so much more powerful. It's sort of like, shit, everything with the millennials works out badly.
Oh, buddy. And the ultimate, like, things that were really popular 5 years ago move, in January of 2006, only 2 weeks after Neil Bauman fires off the letter that shook the world up, the USA Network made a deal with Fox to create a television show that was based on Ebaumsworld. It was going to play right after WWE Raw, and Chris Jericho was going to be the co-host. So they couldn't even get one of the wrestlers who was like winning the title at the time.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. John Cena.
What an insane. What would they have shown? This week on Ebaumsworld, a man uploaded the Mr. Hands video. What's that? Well, a horse teaches someone a lesson.
Well, honestly, it would have been just what Tosh.0 was, but without a comedian there.
Oh my God, yeah.
It would have been like, here is a grandma eating an apple without with one bite.
No. Explain
Very
completely
well,
to people that don't know who Chris Jericho is. It would be Tosh.0 if it was hosted by a man who was raised by a hockey player named Ted Irvin in the scariest city in Canada, who grew up to be a professional wrestler / heavy metal singer. So he either is in on a lot of cocaine, or he believes in a type of Jesus that doesn't even like people that aren't white. You know what I'm saying? Like, that guy is not approaching this show with anything but like, coming up next, someone gets what they deserve for being rude to a horse, Mr. Hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Can we show murders yet? No? All right. Well, anyway, tune in next week. Maybe they'll let us show a murder.
Yeah, I didn't realize there were a bunch of fucking wussies and pussies behind the fucking camera. Because guess what? As soon as this camera's off, they're going to see a murder. Because I'm going to fucking kill one of them with my dick.
It's just crazy to me when I read television series attempt Ebaumsworld. The network isn't Spike TV, but I guess that's what it was.
I mean, that is so nuts. You are so right. It's also, can I just say this? They have tried to make a TV show out of everything, and that is insane. To see Ebaumsworld, and they were like, yeah, how do we make this? Like, just what were they? Not everything has to be a TV show. That would be like seeing, like, I saw this clamp. Okay, the game show is called Clamp It. You have to put a bunch of clamps on your mom. Like, what the fuck? Just leave things alone.
Well, that's the other thing. It works both ways, right? Like anytime you have like a movie or anything that tries to have like a social media presence, you're like, just don't bother.
Yeah.
It's a different thing.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Although they did try forever. There was a big period of time where they really were selling out movies' websites. You can now still check out, a couple of them are still there, such as the Space Jam website is the famous one that is still up, but there's a bunch apparently. I heard a rumor about the guy who owned the Bruce Almighty website. Apparently got a lot of money because he was going to put hardcore videos up, instead got a bunch of cash. I don't know if that's true, but I hope it is. God, I hope it is. And this is the time of the internet I love. This is before all the mass marketing, before social media all became this marketplace, selling each other a perception of what our lives are. I want to go back to when Ebaumsworld was just a collection of soundboards to get Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is where the Arnold Schwarzenegger impression took the fuck off. This is where Dr. Phil went from being like a weird guy who appeared on Oprah to being kind of a cartoon of himself, all from these fucking soundboards. The main two, for those of you who don't know, the main feature of Ebaumsworld, as far as I concerned, was not the videos of people committing suicide. It was a bunch of buttons you could press that just would play you the audio clips of celebrities saying things you could use for prank phone calls. And then what you could do is listen to people making prank phone calls. And let me say this about me. I love prank phone calls. I think prank phone calls are fucking amazing. I live for prank phone calls. They're super fucking great.
This is the other thing, is that those soundboards, it's not like I just heard an AI rendering where they a guy rapped and then he put the AI voice over and it just sounded like Kanye rapping. It is not like that. This is like literally this part of the soundboards was Arnold Schwarzenegger yelling, "Get to the chopper," and you can hear the chopper in the background, and even though you can hear clearly other parts of the movie in the background, people are like, why would I go to a chopper?
Yeah.
Like it worked on quite a few people.
The Dr. Phil one, because you could hear a crowd.
Yeah.
I love prank phone calls. I love them so much.
They're coming back. I mean, a lot of the stuff that you see,
it is coming back.
Videos,
it's coming. It's all in
100%.
talk. It's all in TikTok now. And I got to tell you, I'm fine with TikTok being around. If there's more prank phone call videos, TikTok,
take my information.
Take my information. If I get the sweetest of all plums, prank phone call videos. You know what they say? You know what happens if what I say to someone if they say you're a sellout, John? I say, no one's ever tried to buy you. I'm available for a very cheap cost.
That's fucking sick, John.
Here's what it requires: you to put up videos of people calling people and pretending not to be who they represented to be. That's all I want. Possibly one of the funniest things.
John's dick.
What the hell? I thought you were Dylan. Who's this other person? How did? And you're laughing.
Dick was calling you there. That was sick.
Holy shit! I wasn't even on the phone. You are a master prankster. I had no idea.
I'm fucking one-man Pet Shop Boys.
I had no idea I was dealing with a one-man Jerky Boys, the jerkiest boy.
Yeah, Pet Shop. So sorry, Pet Shop Boys are a real band.
Anyway, the Pet Shop Boys.
I should mention this. The original plagiarism thing was about the Lindsay Lohan "Girls Smile Never Changes" meme, which is one of the early parts of the internet, was just going through.
Oh, it was just attacking Lindsay Lohan.
A Lindsay Lohan, but B going on girls' social media sites and seeing that, or going on their like MySpace whatever profile and seeing that they smile the exact same way in every single photo, and then being like, "Ha ha ha! Look, you smile." The same way in every single photo. And then the girl's response being, "Why do you have 300 photos of me saved on your computer?" And you go, "No, back to the first thing I said."
Yeah, this is
no. Back to the first thing. You're bad.
No. Yeah,
not
you're
me.
bad.
Sorry, I got to release more compilations of women.
Yeah.
Also, there's the same photos I have of women who do change the way they smile in every photo, which we won't talk about.
Yeah. Excuse me, madam, if I'm so bad, where's all your evidence of me being bad? I have a lot of evidence of you being bad. Everyone knows
you have photos where you're out talking to friends and I'm at home in the dark saving pictures of you for collages.
Looking at photos of you to see how you smile. By the way, you're not smiling properly.
Smile changed to that one. That one goes into the other file.
Yeah, you know what that means? You might be in the barrel or outside of the barrel. I'm talking about I'm literally putting people in barrels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now you don't get it. Now you don't get into the barrel. Now you have to live outside the barrel. What does that
Now
mean?
you,
Oh, you'll learn.
yeah,
You'll
you,
learn
you'd
about the
think it'd be
barrels.
better. You'd think it'd be better to be
We'll learn about
not
my
in a
ranking
barrel.
system for people in the barrels, and that'll
Yeah,
be when I. That's when I
you're
go to
still
the
in the dirt.
woods.
You're still in the dirt. Either way, you're in the dirt.
Anyway, yeah, I'm using my
Yeah,
coded language now that we'll
yeah.
find out about
I don't want to be.
on a little streaming site called Netflix. You'll learn what streaming is. Anyway,
Can I just say there is such a
you can say
direct line
anything.
to everything from Ebaumsworld?
You
Not
can say
everything.
anything, John.
I can't read my manifesto.
No, you can.
Mm, uh, you can draw such direct lines to everything. And that Ebaumsworld, you saw a video of a man committing suicide, links to various insane places where you can see like a man fucked to a death by a horse. And now we have Netflix, which provides you with every week just a 4-part series on another horrific murder. Or just like the amount of documentaries on Netflix, which is just like, this guy went fucking nuts and did this fucked up thing in this town. It is, yeah, no fucking wonder the world is a violent hellscape. Because even like every documentary is like, they call him the fuckface killer. And that's because he fucked everyone's face until they were fucking dead.
Next one we're gonna do. Oh, sorry. Well, that's the end of this episode. Sorry,
Dylan,
apologies. We both have ADD, so there will be these moments. John, do you have
I do
any
not have
final
ADD.
thoughts on
I have
Ebaumsworld?
severe anxiety. I want to note it for the record. I do not have ADHD or ADD. It's severe anxiety that was yelled at me by a psychiatrist at a hospital in Los Angeles. I'm going to say this: not calming as an anxious person. Not calming. I should hate Ebaumsworld. It is the Tucker Max Van Wilder of the internet, but I love it. It gave us prank phone calls. And as we've learned in this episode, do you want to be on my good side? Prank phone calls. PPs. PPs for
Yeah,
JH.
it's interesting that it is like, and I hate when people make a dumb thing more grandiose than it was, but it is interesting that it like touches on a lot of what it was, where it's like YTMD is definitely just straight up what the internet was in the early 2000s, where it's like, fucking show some beams. Oh, I got sued. I'll take them down. Whatever. Versus Ebaumsworld is like, oh, this dumb thing my son is doing, I'm going to come in and monetize this. I sold it for tons of money, double flex. Because it does pay off. And like even the watermark thing where it's like, you know, his Neil Bellman realizes, wait a minute, these fucking masturbators aren't even claiming this stuff. They're just making it. It's mine now.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Not only do they expect their copyright to exist just because they haven't filed a patent, but they don't expect me, an asshole, not to take advantage. Well,
yeah. Neil Bauman does strike me as the kind of guy is like, you know, when you were in public school and the janitors would throw all the tennis balls from the roof off the roof, he would show up with a bag and just be like, these are all mine. No one claimed these. That was my ball from earlier in the year. Not anymore. You haven't had the ball in 6 months. These are all my tennis balls.
Correct.
I will
That's
sell them back.
exactly who this guy is. It's not surprising to me that Eric Bauman was like goodbye internet, because I guarantee he saw his father just like become capitalism and was like, I leave now. And he just walked into the sands.
I want to talk about this next one. I'm looking at our list, and I do really want to talk about Coney 2012.
I really want to talk about Coney 2012 as well. I love the year 2012. The following things happened. I moved to England. That's it.
That's the only thing that happened in 2012. Wasn't the world supposed to end in 2012?
Correct. The world was supposed to end in 2012. Dylan and I did a lot of drinking in Toronto. I know that for sure. A lot of smoking of cigarettes.
That was 27. Oh, that was
27.
Good.
That's good. I had some fun. I had one night stands in 2012. I had
I had a two night stand. That's where you have sex with a woman, then you hide under her bed.
That's right. Because you're trying to find your change. I know it was down here.
You hide under her bed. She thinks you're gone, and that's when you eat. And then she leaves, and you eat her food, and you tell her rats got in.
Yeah. Well, you're looking for your change. I know I had a quarter in my pocket when I got here, and I'm gonna find it.
All right, so next week we're going to be talking about Coney 2012. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you guys liked us, please join us online At Dylan
Yeah,
Gott
guys.
on every fucking social media thing, at the John Hastings on every goddamn social media
Bless
thing. You can email us if you have any thoughts on like Ebaumsworld, or if you have any thoughts on NoFap, any fun stories to tell. John and Dylan online at gmail.com. John and Dylan online at gmail.com. Or you can tweet at us, send us a fucking front facing Instagram video. Who the fuck knows? Thanks so much for your time, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.
That was a silent fart. I'm sorry, guys. See you next week.